Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Manny B Investing MPI, and we are going to be talking about Paribus. I'm going to do the show. As you see on the screen, let's go ahead and blow it up a little bit. We have a Twitter space, a town hall. If you do not know, there was an exploit on the Paribus platform on Arbitrum. There was a drain of the TVL, about $100,000. We have a video on that on the page. If you have not seen that, make sure you check it out. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. But the space is tomorrow, April 13th at 5 p.m. UTC for Americans. That's noon Central, and what is that? What would that be? 1 o'clock Eastern, and you can just compare your time zone. But what we're going to be focused on in this video is the benefits of collaboration. After the unfortunate events of this week, we are revealing our plan to open source our code to ensure increased security. The Paribus code will adapt and become stronger over time with the help of the blockchain developer community. Let's see, we got 45 retweets. I didn't even retweet that. What's wrong with me? Hit the like on that as well. Would like this to have been avoided if you had just launched on Cardano in the first place. Oh, would all of this have been avoided if you had just launched on? They wouldn't have been able to. That you can't launch a protocol like this on Cardano. That's why they didn't do so to begin with. It is a lot more difficult to develop over on the Cardano side. They forked some code from Compound. Audits are not enough, as we saw. Nice move for maximum security. Good proactive team. So people seem to mostly be forgiven, which I expect. These hacks and things are pretty commonplace when it comes to EVM, but again, I thought the hack reason was kind of silly. It was just oversight code that was known to be exploitable, that was kind of just left the way it was, and I don't understand how they did so many audits and that wasn't caught by the auditors. That's just crazy to me, but I digress. Let's take a look. The benefits of collaboration. After discovering we were victims of an exploit, we've decided to share our plans to open source our code and make it more accessible to external developers. Our aim in so doing are simple. Through leveraging a wider pool of minds, we will be better positioned to avoid potential faults and bugs that may arise in the future. Open sourcing code has become increasingly popular in recent years. So all of the people that talk about another project that I'm interested in, which is TeddySwap, they are all about open source. Everything is known. The code is available as they're working on it. The GitHub is there as they're working on it. So it seems like Paribus has kind of changed and pivoted their belief system around code and security, which is something that I expect after being hacked within the 14 days of launching to mainnet on Arbitrum. So kudos to Paribus for realizing what is important, and that is security. So with many companies and organizations embracing these principles as a way to enhance innovation, reduce cost, and improve transparency, it involves allowing the public to access and contribute to software code development. So if everybody gets it early and everybody has eyes on it, you're more likely to find these issues. For example, there was a person who clearly got access to the code, probably with it being in testnet. They saw that, oh, it used the old Compound. So let me start doing pen testing. Let me compare it against what happened with Compound. So they probably researched, figured out that, hey, Compound V2 had this issue. This was how it was executed. And they just sat on their hands and waited. That's what I believe happened, given the dates and looking at the logs of when they deployed the capital. They deployed it like over 150 days before the exploit happened. They had that money sitting there waiting to be able to take that flash loan and execute that exploit. So that tells me that they knew about it a long time ago. Now, if everyone had access to the code ahead of time, there would have been a situation where, hey, maybe another project said, hey, we just found an exploit in your code. You may want to patch that. That's what I believe, and I think that's why they're going to do this, because it just gives It just puts everything in a better playing field when everyone can see everything, instead of just a few people that are looking to exploit and steal and cause pain, jumping on it and then finding the exploits and not saying anything. So often the principle of open sourcing is intertwined with decentralized decision making. So this approach fits perfectly with our current development plans for the protocol's governance. Just over a year ago, MinSwap open sourced their code, and the team at Wing Riders managed to help them avoid a potential exploit. We aim to reduce the risk of future exploits by following the same path. Like we just said, just a good idea, giving everybody access, letting the greater minds and the greater community look at what's going on and say, hey, you got some problems here, you might want to fix it. The benefit of decentralized governance is that it promotes innovation by allowing a wider range of perspectives and voices to be heard. In traditional organizations, decision-making is often limited to a small group of individuals who may have a limited range of knowledge and expertise needed to make informed decisions. Decentralized governance allows for a wider range of perspectives to be considered, leading to more innovative suggestions. Similarly, open source code allows a wide range of developers to contribute to securing the protocol, often leading to a better and more creative solutions. By making our code openly available, we encourage collaborations and peer review. This process also helps to identify and fix bugs and vulnerabilities faster, helping to make the platform more secure. In addition to these benefits, both decentralization and open source code have broader societal benefits. Decentralization can lead to more democratic decision-making as power is distributed across various individuals or groups. And in this, they're not talking about governance per se using tokens, but a group of people having input, whether it be through an email or on Twitter, making the team make potentially better decisions given the feedback. This helps ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of all stakeholders rather than just a few. Open source code can also promote a more open and transparent society, as it's available for anyone to inspect and audit. One of the fundamental promises of blockchain technology has always been democratization, redistribution, the power of authority from the hands of the few to the many. Our goal has always been to open source our code and decentralize the protocol's governance. While this week's events are unfortunate, they only sped up the time frame for our existing development aims. And then you kind of go, well, should we have done that to begin with? And it's tough to say. It is really tough to say. If they would have done this at the very beginning, maybe there would have been someone that would have jumped the gun on them and delivered a product to market that was basically a clone of their product. So I get the reluctance, but security will always kind of push you to make these decisions, regardless of market. An open source approach has always been critical of the success of a blockchain technology. Bitcoin and Ethereum have been built on open source code, which, aside from helping to increase their security, also led to faster innovation. Crypto developers at such a breathtaking pace because of the space's open source and collaborative nature. This always has to be balanced with innovations that give teams a competitive advantage. So the timing of when to release the code is always difficult. Well, I mean, the timing of the code on this situation was after an exploit. But again, thankfully it wasn't millions of dollars. It was just like under 100,000. So I think we dodged a bullet here. The price of the token did go volatile for a while, but it wasn't too bad. Actually made some money in the whole ordeal. Although this approach means that people can help to develop and secure a protocol, it also opens the door to people copying the developer's hard work. Like we just said, we want to release our code a little later in the year. However, the security benefits of this greatly outweighs these considerations now. Definitely. After being hacked, definitely. Those familiar with our development process will be aware that we constantly prioritize security over all other aspects of development. In fact, we specifically delayed the launch of our mainnet V1 to run an additional security audit with Hacken, and only launched when we had a sufficiently high score from them. Despite our commitments to security, our bug bounty program, our intensive testnet deployment, and multiple audits, it's become clear that the safest path forward is to be found in the fundamental testnet of blockchain decentralization and open sourcing. We thank every single member of our community that has stood by us through all of the trials and tribulations of our journey so far, and can assure everyone that this moment heralds a new beginning for our approach to growing and developing Paribus. So, hey, something bad happened and you make decisions to make things better moving forward. Can't be mad at that. Teams did an amazing job at being transparent, taking the advice, fixing the issue, explaining what happened, pivoting to what works best for the community, and pushing forward. So I look forward to taking part in that AMA tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you there, and hopefully people have some good questions. And I know the team's going to be transparent like they always have. And thank you for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like, hit that share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.